He was an Ottoman Pasha, who started from scratch, and rose to the rank of Grand Vizier, but his entire career was destroyed by his one slap. Because the person he slapped was Shah Sultan, the daughter of Yavuz Sultan Selim, and the sister of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. Today in this video, you'll get to know what punishment was given to the Vizier, who slapped an Ottoman princess. So, here is the interesting life story of the Grand Vizier, Lutfi Pasha. But before going further, it's our humble request to the viewers to subscribe to the channel, and do like and share the video. A few clicks of yours will not cost you anything, but it'll motivate us, and help our channel to grow. We really appreciate and regard your support. And please, give your feedback in the comments section below. Lutfi Pasha was born in Albanian lands in the 1480s. In his early childhood, he was recruited through Devshirme's system, a system where new soldiers were recruited in the Ottoman military. But some sources stated that his parents sent him under Ottoman service. He got a good education in the Andarun school, and was taken into the service of the palace during the reign of Sultan Bayezid II. He started to be involved in small jobs in Topkapi Palace in order to advance in his career. Lutfi Pasha had seen the last moments of Sultan Bayezid II. He witnessed the ascension of Yavuz Sultan Selim to the Ottoman throne. He wrote himself that he received 50 coins from Yavuz Sultan Selim, as a tip on his succession. Lutfi Pasha gained the trust of the new Sultan, Yavuz Sultan Selim, and became one of the people who served close to him. He was first appointed as the head to control and serve the meals of the Sultan, then the head of the door, and then as the person who carried the Sultan's flag. Due to this closeness, Lutfi Pasha was recognized as one of the statesmen who grew up with Yavuz Sultan Selim. In fact, it was during this period that he met with Shah Sultan, the daughter of Yavuz Sultan Selim, who would become his wife in the future. However, after 8 years in power, Yavuz Sultan Selim lost his life, and Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent came to the throne. In the time of Sultan Suleiman, Lutfi Pasha was sent to the provinces to prove himself, and appointed as the Sanjak-Bey of Kastamuni. This was his first appointment to service outside the palace. As a result of his successes here, Lutfi Pasha was sent to Aydin, and continued as a Sanjak-Bey there. In 1521, he participated in the campaigns of Belgrade with Sultan Suleiman. In 1522, when Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent was sailing to the island of Rhodes, as the Sanjak-Bey of Aydin, Lutfi Pasha joined him with his ships anchoring from Aydin. He swung his sword against the Rhodes knights. Lutfi Pasha gained the favor of Sultan Suleiman during the conquest of Rhodes. In 1523, after the expedition, he was evaluated and married to Shah Sultan, who was the sister of Suleiman the Magnificent, the daughter of Yavuz Sultan Selim. Although Lutfi Pasha became a groom to the Ottoman family, but this did not give him any favors. He continued his duty as the Sanjak-Bey of the Principality of Yanya, which is a part of Greece nowadays. In 1529, while Ottoman cannons were beating the walls of Vienna during the siege, Lutfi Pasha participated in the battle with Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. As the governor of Karaman, Lutfi Pasha was on the side of Kanuni Sultan Suleiman, as always, while he was on his campaign to the east of Iran. Lutfi Pasha rose gradually without using the power of his wife Shah Sultan. In 1534, he became third vizier, and for the first time he was given the vizier level rank. Later, he became the governor of Rumeli. In 1537, Lutfi Pasha organized a huge Ottoman force with an Ottoman admiral, Barbarossa Hayreddin Pasha. They captured Corfu, and many Ionian and Aegean islands that belonged to the Republic of Venice. He became the second vizier in 1538. In 1539, after the death of Grand Vizier Ayas Mehmed Pasha, who died of plague, Lutfi Pasha was appointed to the position of Grand Vizier of the Ottoman Empire, the highest rank a statesman could reach. Lutfi Pasha started to act quickly after he became the Grand Vizier of the empire. Seeing that the palace expenses were too high, Lutfi Pasha was said to be the first Grand Vizier who worked to control these expenditures. In addition, he identified the statesmen one by one who took bribes. He dismissed all of them from their duties and punished them. He was aware that a strong navy was needed in order to have new sea routes that changed as a result of geographical discoveries in Europe. That's why he opened many new shipyards and gave importance to maritime. He made radical changes in the messenger system in order to speed up communication in the Ottoman Empire. He applied a model similar to the one that was applied by Genghis Khan. He built stations and caravan inns all over the country for the messenger and their tired horses to rest. Lutfi Pasha is the one who discovered the great genius Ottoman architect, Mimar Sinan. He referred Sinan before the Sultan, and played an important role in bringing him to the post of chief architect. Lutfi Pasha was a conservative statesman with extremely strict rules. For this reason, he did not allow to use even a single house for prostitution in the capital. He frequently raided these places and caught those who were engaged in prostitution or had them do it. In fact, one of these raids became the reason for the end of the Grand Vizier Lutfi Pasha. During a raid, Lutfi Pasha caught a woman who was committing adultery for money in her home. Normally, women who were caught for this crime were brought before women or Qazi, and after their accusation was proved, then they were most likely exiled from Istanbul. However, this time Lutfi Pasha did not comply with the laws. He wanted the woman who committed adultery to be an example to the world, in order to flourish decency in society. He cauterized her genitals with scorching iron in front of everyone. This fact, that the Grand Vizier punished that woman arbitrarily and cruelly without any trial, caused the reaction of many people. The biggest of these reactions came from his wife Shah Sultan. Shah Sultan argued with Lutfi Pasha with great anger. She said, "That in which period you have seen any vizier open the private parts of a woman and burned in front of everyone that you did it this way?" She burst on him saying that he was indecent and cruel. Enraged, Lutfi Pasha also slapped the princess, the daughter of Yavuz Sultan Selim, and the sister of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. The guards of the harem entered the room when they heard the cries of Shah Sultan. They rescued the princess and beat the Grand Vizier Lutfi Pasha well. Of course, when the event grew like this, it came into the knowledge of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. No matter how important the designation of Lutfi Pasha was, it was not acceptable that he slapped the sister of the Sultan. Furiously, Sultan Suleiman first announced the divorce of his sister and Lutfi Pasha, and then dismissed him from the designation of Grand Vizier. Everyone was expecting his sentence to be death, but his life was spared because he had served the state for decades, and had children with Shah Sultan, so he was exiled to Dimatoka. Therefore, the career of Lutfi Pasha, which he had built for years, was destroyed by his slap. A year later, Lutfi Pasha asked for the forgiveness from Sultan, and also requested permission to go to Hajj. Although he was forgiven, but he did not get involved in state affairs again. Lutfi Pasha wrote more than 20 books while his stay in Dimatoka. He wrote in Arabic and Turkish, and the main topics of his works were related to religion and history. The two of his well-known works are the Asafname, which is a kind of mirror for ministers, and the Tevarrü'l-Osman, which is about the history of the Ottomans, and also includes his own experiences in the reigns of three Ottoman sultans, Bayezid II, Selim I, and Suleiman I. Lutfi Pasha lived on his farm in Dimitoka for 23 years. He died on the 27th of March 1564, at the age of 76.